Welcome to Digital Matters.
Thank you. Great to be here. Hello, everybody. Having a good day?
Everyone's had a good day. Had a great day?
All right.
I'm going to start this session off just to be transparent. HP are a major partner in the YouTube Fan Fest. In fact, if it wasn't for HP, the Fan Fest wouldn't exist because you supported the first one. But this is not a sponsored segment. You didn't pay to be here. Nope. No animals were hurt in the process. Nope. This is a pure session about some amazing work that HP are doing with the creator community. Some of it in the Fan Fest and some of it not. So I just wanted to get that across. The last 2 years, you guys have adopted this strategy of working with international video stars and local video stars. I'm not sure if everyone heard this morning. I know Bing was talking very, very fast, but I wrote down, he said that the creators are turning brands like HP into beliefs. So how have you done that?
So thank you for that question. And Bing, if you're still here, thank you very much. That's a very nice thing to say. I think for us, it's really about authentic and genuine connection with our audience. And so in terms of YouTube and the Fan Fest and the things that we've done there, it's really been all about how we connect as a brand with youth and with millennials in a way that feels right and feels authentic and really taps into a lot of their creativity and a lot of their desires. So I think that's probably the best way to describe it.
So what we've done is we've actually created a video showing some of the examples of HP's work with creative talents. HP support a wonderful musician called Kurt Hugo Schneider. And Kurt travels around the world collaborating with local artists in every market. Doesn't matter if they got 100 subscribers or 10 million subscribers. He just looks for talent to work with. He tends to rent a bedroom in a hotel or a hotel room and makes these amazing one-shot videos. But we'll show some and talk about it a little bit. So if you could run, Dickie, if you could run the first video, please.
To call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love. Call me on my cell phone late night when you need my love. 'Cause I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. Yeah, I know when that hotline bling, that can only mean one thing. Ever since I left the city, you I might never be your knight in shining armor. I might never be the one to take home to mother. I might never be the one who brings you flowers. But I can be the one.
What's up guys, it's Kurt and that was GAC singing Perfect. I hope you guys liked it. We did this video with HP with their Pavilion X2 and their Spectre X360, both powered by Intel. We filmed this over in Indonesia. As you can tell, I'm back home right now.
So talk about authenticity. I mean, that's how to integrate a laptop into a music video, right?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yep, definitely.
And you see him there. I mean, some of those creators, Jakarta Beatbox, have got less than 100,000 subscribers. You work in a massive competitive market. I mean, you know, let's face it, laptops, computers, tablets. Why didn't you do what your Korean competitors did and support Taylor Swift?
Haha. All right, so I will answer that. When I think about our target audience, you know, let's talk about our region here. 4.4 billion people in the region. About 60% of those folks are millennials. And so how do you connect with millennials in a way that is meaningful and resonant? So first and foremost, proper definition, under 34. These are people who had technology as a part of their life the whole time. It's not new news to them. It's very much an extension of who they are. And so I think from our perspective, the goal was to do something that would resonate with them in a way that felt very, very authentic. And what do I mean when I say that? Because it can be a bit of a buzzword. What it means is, first and foremost, the FanFest is against a global platform, but it's local. Means we can be in markets all over the region with talent that is relevant, that is fresh, and that is meaningful in those particular markets. And so that was very important to us. The other piece for us that was really important is when you talk about the FanFest, it feels a little bit like it might be an event, like a concert. And what we really wanted to do was take that to the next level. So when I got here about a year or so ago to the region, one of the things that we really wanted to do was to push on this to make it a longer term proposition. And so what we did was work with YouTube and our teams to say, how do we make this more meaningful? And that is when we pivoted the strategy from an event that we were maybe involved in or sponsoring into a long-term platform that would allow us to really create stickiness with our audience and have that be meaningful. So what we did is we tapped into the YouTube Academy and created an HP Academy. And what that meant was for youth around the region, they could apply through a competition. They might have 100, you know, followers, fans, whatever you want to call it. So not a lot, and they could apply through a quick competition to be, you know, one of 20, 25 students with YouTube stars. I mean, you can see here the power of that, and we, you know, put them through mentoring programs, competitions, tips and tricks, and so in a way, that is about the curation of creativity. And that's something that's been important to us in terms of connecting with youth and helping them get to the next level around the ways they want to express themselves. And have that be very meaningful coming from our brand, really enabling that connection with people who want to express themselves and who want to be seen and who want to learn how to do that better. And that's given us a way to kind of go back and forth and create that level of stickiness and kind of brand resonance, but in a way that's authentic. It's not just about the brand, it's about you, the youth, the people who want to actually express themselves. And so that's a big part of why we do it that way.
So it's not about the logo, really. It's about the platform. It's about how you've weaved the brand into a lot of that content. How do you activate? How do you activate around the FanFest?
Yeah, so we activate around that in a bunch of different ways. I thought I would share one way today with you that is not as conventional as maybe other brands. So a couple days ago here in Singapore, we had our analyst summit. And the analysts come in from all over the place, and they're people who are industry analysts. And throughout the day, in the breaks, we had a lot of the videos that you see here running. That's a really interesting way for a brand to incorporate content that we've helped to generate and curate and be a part of into a non-traditional forum. Those tend to be a little more conservative. You may not have, you know, bad blood happening on the stage, and we certainly did. And we also took the time to take the analysts through our strategy, why we do what we do, and how we do what we do. So it's important, and we use it, for a lot of the things that we do. We incorporate it and integrate it into the work that we do.
I didn't know that. That's actually really cool. I wish I'd seen it, actually. So please send some pictures and stuff.
I will.
And so you talked about how you weave yourself into the content. We talked about how you're activating the platform. I hope you don't mind. How do you measure the ROI?
Ooh, ROI, my favorite thing. Love it. So this is more and more important for marketers, right? When you're holding any kind of a brand budget, it's super important to be able to talk about how you use that budget, how you quantify that budget, and what the return on investment is. And there's return on investment, and then some people take it down to return on marketing investment. So I had a hunch this would be a question from our stakeholders at HP, and so what we did is, in collaboration with Intel, who co-sponsor this with us, we put a research instrument into the markets that we were in. And so for each of the markets where we had an activation with a YouTube Fan Fest and concerts and the HP Academy, we went in and did a quantitative study around attitudes, around technology, our brand, not just our own brand, before the event and then after the event. And we're just in the process, a couple of my team members are here in the room, a special call out to them because they do all of the heavy lifting. But they're in the process of going through and amalgamating the results so that we can do just what you've asked, which is be able to go back and responsibly say whether we think it worked or it didn't. And sometimes that feedback will tell you what, ooh, that sounded loud. The feedback will tell you what you could do better if you haven't moved the needle on one of the attitudes, but you have on another. It can help us be better prepared for next year or for the next event that we do.
I'm going to go a little off brief. It wasn't really a brief, but a little off brief. I was just thinking, I was watching that video again of Kurt working with the local talent. And what no one in this room will know, maybe except for the two heavy lifters, is that the product is given to Kurt, a bit of a brand brief, how the product works, some of its key functionalities, and then he's left to his own devices. And a couple of weeks later, a video is delivered for someone at HP to approve and maybe make a couple of tweaks, but that's it. Now that's brave. Where, and this is, I hope you don't mind me asking this question, but where is the role of an advertising agency now? Because that relationship is directly with the creative community.
Yeah, I mean, I think two things on that. One is you're absolutely right. We put the creativity into Kurt's hands, and I will tell you, one of my very favorite pieces he brought back to us was, it was crazy. We cut him loose in India, and he came back to us with a Beethoven symphony of the horns in India. How many, I can't see everybody here, but how many of you have been in India? Good representation? Yeah, awesome. Most of you, a lot of you. You know, everywhere you go, toot, toot, peep, peep, I mean, it was incredible. So it was this beautiful piece. You know, I will spare you my interpretation of Beethoven, but you know the fifth, and it was done by horn. And he's racing around and shooting that, and it just was incredible content that was really, really unique and different. So you're right, we do. We cut him loose, and we, you know, hope casting is not a good strategy, but we expect that he'll come back with something really compelling, and he has not disappointed. The role of the agency, I think that's a tricky one. You know, I think advertising agencies, and I'll be very candid with you, I spent half of my career as an account person in an ad agency, so I know the space pretty well. I think agencies are a lot better at integrating themselves into client environments and really helping be partners and not just directors. I think the kernels of most ideas come from great creative talent, but I think, you know, different models of agencies are emerging all over the place, right? I mean, if I think about a traditional agency versus an agency, you know, that would help us do things, it's not the same. And so I think it does pull that into question. And I think the other dimension there is the digital space is moving so quickly, and so many people have a role in it, that it no longer can sit with one single organization. And that's something I think, you know, clients, to use the client word, and agencies have to continue to figure out and continue to evolve how that relationship works, because it isn't the way it used to be, and everybody can own a piece of sort of the digital landscape. So how do you create a strategy that you can integrate and leverage across the form? And I think that's a question.
So strategy, brand custodian, that's the role of the agency. Activation and creativity more kind of open to the creative community?
Very open to the creative community, definitely. A great idea can come from anywhere, right? A great idea can come from anywhere out there. So I'm an active encourager. In fact, our team will brainstorm to come up with ideas if we feel like something isn't where it needs to be. I would also say that I think the role of the ad agency isn't gone. I think for a while people thought, oh, that business model is going away. I don't think that's the case. You see people pivoting back into TV. That's an emerging trend that we're seeing. So yeah, I think so. Good creative can come from all kinds of places.
It's interesting you say people are pivoting back into TV. We mentioned it earlier, the creators are saying, how do I get from online to traditional media? How do I get onto HBO and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the quality of content, there's a great article that I just read about, there's 24 hours in a day, and you need to sleep for 8, and maybe you're working or doing something else for 8, which leaves 8. And the quality of content is just incredible. You think about, 10 or 12 years ago, the TV show 24, big deal, amazing, people waited for it. And now you look at things like Game of Thrones, which just the production value of something like that is incredible. So the competition for content and mindshare is just, all the tougher.
We're asking the question tomorrow, I think, will PewDiePie ever make it onto Game of Thrones? Will he? Well, I think we know the answer to that, but so what's next? What's next for HP? We talked a lot about the FanFest, but what's next for HP? Where are you heading? Where is this all heading for the band?
Yeah. From our perspective, we've just gone through a separation in our company, and so we have relaunched ourselves, and we have a new line out there around keep reinventing, and I will tell you that is what I think is next. I think in general, technology companies have to innovate all the time around their products and their solutions and their services, but marketers have to innovate too, and we hold ourselves to a very high bar of innovation, and I think you used an interesting word, which is being brave and really thinking about how you want to take your message to market. So one of those is continuing to really make that emotional connection with our audiences. So next up for us is Star Wars, and we have a really nice collaboration with them. We have a special edition product that we've put together, and a spot that I'll show you that talks about keep reinventing and how we launched that. So maybe I'll roll that and then come back to the rest of what we're doing.
Dickie, can we see the second video? Very nice.
So that gives you an idea of where we're headed next there. I think the key is continued collaborations, things that we think will be good for us, will be good for our brand, and really for our customers, which is the most important thing. So keep an eye on that space. That movie comes out in just a few short, 10 or 15 days. And other collaborations that we have really with very creative communities. So there's the Star Wars one, and then also we do a lot with DreamWorks. And I think at the heart of that is the technology that we provide a lot of these studios to create movies and to be able to do things that they as creative entities see as bringing their vision to life. And so a lot of that work happens on our workstations, but that's a big one for us. And so keeping it authentic and a couple other things that are coming up.
So the question about tickets for Star Wars?
You can ask the
She's
heavy
here.
lifters.
Okay, so you said just continue collaborations. The last question is, we do have a lot of creators walking around the next 3 days, going, kids with no subscribers all the way up to Marcus and Alfie with 10 million between them. How do they work with HP? How do they get to? How do they work with HP?
Yeah, well, so, I mean, I can think of a lot of different ways. I'm, as I said, have been in an agency. I married the creative director. It's very, very, right? That's so like the account person marries the creative director. Anyway, a little anecdote for you. I think that we do really believe that great ideas come from anywhere. I mean, you can reach me anytime, any place on my email address, which is emily.ketchen@hp.com. Pretty easy. I'm on LinkedIn. My colleagues are. I think we're open to any and all ideas that people have about things that they think would be interesting for us. We do have agencies that we work with, and we really appreciate and enjoy that collaboration. You saw some of the work in that spot, but we are super open to the community. And as I said earlier, a great idea can come from anywhere. It's about being open to them, and it's about curating those great ideas, and standing apart and creating that emotional connection with our brand.
So, brave, refreshingly honest, exciting, creative. Would people have said that about HP 5 years ago?
I'm not sure they would have. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think this may go back to Bing's turning brands like HP into beliefs. Emily, I want to carry on talking to you forever, but we're not allowed. Our time is up. But thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for all the creator community, for all that you're doing to support them, because it really is from all the way down, all the way up. It's fantastic.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Thank you guys so much. Have a good rest of your evening.